My name is Michael Dobson, and I am the owner of Dobson Farms. We do produce and sell a variety of different products, including farm-raised meats, produce, eggs, and a variety of other things. Our chickens are free-range. They live in a coop at night for predator protection, but other than that, they free-range around our farm all the time. They forage for the vast majority of their feed. We also have a variety of different produce that we raise and sell, including tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, squash, a number of different types of winter squashes, as well as several different types of plants that we have throughout the year. Right now we also have Asian pears that come from a local orchard. Asian pears are sort of like a mix between an apple and a pear. Other than that, we sell directly from our farm year-round, from noon until 6, 7 days a week. We also have our fall stuff coming in soon, including pumpkins, mums, straw bales, all sorts of fall-related stuff. Again, we're open all the time, so you're certainly welcome to come out and see us.
How are you today?
Good morning, Gabby. I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, we're here a little earlier than normal because we've got a little bit of breakfasty goods going on today.
That's right. We've got to get here early to cook breakfast. So today we're going to be doing two different dishes. We're going to start with the basic scrambled egg. That's something that everybody does and everybody does differently. So before we get into the eggs though, I actually remembered to bring my little cheap knife sharpener today. So we're gonna learn
the good stuff today.
Yes, this is a manual knife sharpener. It is incredibly cheap. It gets the job done.
Can you hurt yourself with it?
I cannot hurt myself. I'm gonna handle this today.
Oh man.
Now, this tool is actually really good if you're just doing sort of a daily sharpening or a little touch-up.
Because you can kind of fit it in your pocket.
Well, sure, you can fit that in your pocket, carry it around with you, just whip that out anytime.
Anywhere you go, you'll be prepared.
Now, I take good care of my knives, so this blade, it does not have any chips in it. It doesn't have any sort of warps, so we don't need to do anything major to get it sharpened. There we go, don't get too close. So basically the way this works, we have two parts here. If you want to zoom in on this, we've got these little metal wheels. And this is simply just for putting the knife in.
That's awfully close to your thumb, Alexander.
Oh, that's fine. It's over here out of the way. And you just pull it through. The old saying, iron sharpens iron. It's not a metaphor, it's quite true. You can use metal to sharpen metal. Now the other part here is, it's the world's dinkiest whetstone.
It's not wet.
No, it's quite dry.
Wah,
Wet.
wah.
W-H-E-T, whetstone. Now this, go ahead and run your finger over the whetstone. Just give it a feel. What's it remind you of?
Concrete?
Concrete, yeah.
Rocks?
Sandpaper, like a really fine grit sandpaper. So basically all this is going to do is take just a tiny little edge off the knife, a little sliver of metal.
Like sanding
So
it?
the way you do it, it's like sanding the knife. So you just put it on there at about a 20-degree angle and just pull it across. Grab a towel, wipe off the edge of the knife, and...
it's so sparkly.
It is. And the thing is, this little knife should be able to cut through that tomato now, which normally you want to use a serrated knife for a tomato because of the skin. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get to the eggs. I'm hungry.
Me too!
Okay. We're going to start with a basic scrambled egg. Now, start with a cold pan. This is a little different.
That is completely different.
Completely different. This is a little trick I picked up from one of the famous chefs who's got a cooking show. And I tried it and...
Is it a cooker that likes a chef that likes butter?
No.
I don't trust
This
them.
recipe does not require you to eat 2 sticks of butter before you start.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Now, what we are going to end up with here are some very creamy scrambled eggs. Now, we're going to start with about a tablespoon of butter. You want to crack a couple of eggs into that cup for us, please?
Oh, dear. Now you're really testing me. I'm just gonna do it on the counter, okay?
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Nice
Doesn't it
flat
have to
surface, strike the side of it, cracks open every time.
Nope. It's fine.
Gabby has to clean the kitchen later.
No shells.
Okay, and if you will please grab a fork for us. We're done.
Okay.
All right, give
Oh,
it a
gosh.
good twirl there. Go ahead and break the yolks and spin it around. And we want to make sure we get the yolk and the white completely incorporated together. It's just going to come out better.
Get a little air in there.
Lots of air. Now some people like to add milk or water or something to their eggs. I prefer not to do that because it dilutes the egg flavor and you can end up with runny eggs.
Oh,
We want them
no.
to be creamy but still nice and solid. Alright, that looks good.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Go ahead and dump it in the pan.
In the cold pan.
In the cold pan.
With the unmelted butter.
With the unmelted butter.
You're making me very uncomfortable today, Alexander. This is going against what little I know.
I know. Normally people want to preheat the pan and they throw the eggs in and the things are, coagulating before you even get the spatula to it.
Yeah.
So what we want to do here is going to take about 5 minutes because we are going to slowly cook these eggs. And as we slowly do it, the butter is going to melt slowly into the eggs and that's going to provide flavor to them. Now, the most important thing to remember here is you need a good non-stick skillet because if you try to use stainless steel or something else, you're going to have a mess on your hands.
What about cast iron?
You better have that seasoned
Well
really
seasoned.
well.
I'm learning how to season
Yeah.
as we speak.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of dill to our eggs. Nice flavor,
No jokes?
something a little different.
No jokes.
No dill these jokes.
Okay.
All right, well, let's bring this over here. Find some
And
heat.
onto a cold stove. You're killing me here.
Stove is cold. We're gonna go just above medium heat. And this is gonna take a while. So we can let it sit for 30 seconds or so while this starts to warm up. And I think in a minute we might try one of those special editing effects where we go and fast forward. Maybe some Benny Hill music.
What's the deal with Benny Hill?
Yeah, we're starting to get close to the end.
Those look like restaurant quality eggs.
I've never been to a restaurant that good. All right, we need another plate up here, if you don't mind. And now you'll notice these are still just a little damp looking, a little wet looking.
But they'll
Always
keep cooking.
take it out, exactly.
Yeah.
Always stop cooking it on the stove before it's completely finished.
I knew a thing.
That's right, these are gonna hold the heat in, it'll finish up. How's it look?
Very pretty. Appetizing.
I think you'd be surprised
Yummy.
at the taste.
We need a small enough bite that I can take a bite while James Brown focuses on my face and I can talk while there's food in my mouth. Dang. You're right again.
You can taste the butter in there, can't you?
I can't, like, literally, and they're so fluffy.
That's the trick to getting the fluffy eggs. You cook it slow and let the butter melt into it. You just drug that plate away. Looks like I'm not getting the taste. That's all right. I have more work to do.
Yay!
While Gabby is snacking there. Let's see.
Good
I'm going to
morning. Good
Give my
morning.
pan a little wipe. Now, an omelet, I always use 3 eggs for, just because it provides just the right amount to hold it together.
Okay.
I'm sure you've tried making an omelet before where it's fallen apart.
Or not.
Or she hasn't made an omelet before. You at home, you know what I'm talking
I've thrown
about.
stuff in eggs and hoped for the best.
So I am going to
Look at how
Slice.
nicely that cuts.
right through it.
Well, now they're kind of getting messy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this turned back on, and this time we are going to warm the pan a little bit
Okay.
before we get started. All right, now go ahead and pour the egg mixture in. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I'm just going to take some tomatoes, and I'm going to drop them in here.
Pretty colors. You know I love pretty colors.
Oh, yeah. This is my son's favorite vegetable. If he eats a pizza, he wants an olive pizza. Nothing but black olives on it.
I have to sneak vegetables in on my children.
And you know, sometimes we have to do that for adults too. And it's I'm gonna run this around the edge, and I'm gonna tilt the pan a little to pour some of this egg mixture on top, around the sides, so it goes underneath, and it's gonna fortify the base of our omelet.
Gotta have a strong base.
That's right.
Because the base was running.
Yeah, we're all about
Like
the
the running
base.
egg. That is a fancy little. I had no idea that what to do. I just thought you kept cooking it.
Now this is a good way to
Get
get
it all
the egg off the
yeah.
top and evens it out. Now you notice I'm putting most of it on this half, and I have the vegetables on a little more than a half of it, because we're going to fold that over, and it's much easier to do if you've got all the weight on one side.
All the pretty little cheese curls. Whoops, and a few big hunks. It's fine. Oh.
It'll all taste right. And add some basil into our omelet. Sprinkle this in over top of these vegetables. And now we'll put a little cheese in there. Now remember, we just want to put everything on about half of this omelet. We don't want cheese oozing out. We want the cheese to be a supplemental flavor with the vegetables.
Okay.
This is looking good. We're going to flip that over.
Whoa!
Make a little sandwich.
It's so pretty.
Turn the heat down a bit. And we're going to let this sit for another minute or so. This is looking good. Okay, so let's plate the omelet.
It's so pretty.
Go. Now, I need a spoon, please.
Okay.
Little teaspoon of work. And we're going to put just a little dollop of sour cream on here. And I don't think I've ever used the word dollop in regards to anything but sour cream.
You're right.
That old commercial for one of the brands. So yeah, put a little on top, and then to make it look fancy, there's a little parsley. We're gonna sprinkle that on there. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
There we go. Nice little Italian omelet.
Wow, you made that look so easy.
There's not much to it. I mean, the trick here to make it look pretty is just put the sour cream in a little glop on top, and then sprinkle those herbs around.
Okay,
All right. Yeah,
let's
I
do
better
this.
step back.
Excuse me. Need a little dollop though.
That's very hot. Be careful.
That'll do. That'll do.
All right, I think Gabby
That
is going to
wonderful.
enjoy second breakfast now, and we'll see her again for 11sies. And
Give me a few more minutes
yes.
for the next one. Alexander, thank you. That was so good.
You're welcome. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Where did the eggs come from?
These eggs we got from the farmer's market last weekend from Dobson Farms. And Michael there did an interview with one of our other co-workers here at the library. And the eggs were delicious, and you know we truly appreciate all the farm fresh goodies and seeing what we can do with them. And you showed off today.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hope you learned some new tricks at home, have something to try. Make sure to tune in next week for our series finale. This year we're going to be...
we'll have a few giveaways for all of our watchers.
That's right. We're going to have some special prizes for you.
So tune in.
That's right. And it should be a good show next week. We're going to be revisiting coffee.
Oh,
we did that show earlier in the season, and there were some things that were a little off. We need to go back and check those out.
Well, we'll get it done.